Hello friends, you are welcome in video lecture series on the topic organization of higher plant body. So under the heading of this organization of higher plant body, we are going to study these two articles, the plant organs and internal organization of higher plant body. So every higher plant or flowering plant originates from single celled zygote. So we know theoretically when zygote is formed, so after fertilization, when male gamete unites with female gamete, there is a formation of single celled zygote. So this formation of zygote, single celled zygote, is the initial stage in the development of higher plant body. So from this zygote, embryo is developed. That means this single celled zygote undergoes mitotic cell divisions and multicellular embryo is developed. So this development of embryo takes place during the development of the seeded cell. That means after pollination, fertilization, when zygote formation takes place, from this zygote, development of embryo starts within the seed. That means inside this ovule, embryo is developed. After maturity of this ovule is converted into fruit. Seed, and total ovary is converted into fruit in all angiospermic plants or flowering plants. So this zygote, single cell zygote, undergoes repeated mitotic cell divisions and forms the multicellular embryo. So this embryo is developed in seed, and organization of higher plant body is decided in the embryo stage in the process of seed formation. So when seeds are developed, seeds are dispersed naturally by different agencies like birds, wind, etc. And when seed gets suitable condition for germination, seed start to germinate, it sprouts and start the development of this seedling. So this is the first figure. It shows the parts of the dicot embryo. So this dicot embryo shows these two cotyledons. Inside these two cotyledons, at the central region, there is a procambium. Commonly it is known as vascular meristem, and this procambium is responsible for development of vascular tissue system in all higher plants or flowering plants. So in this embryo, basically there is a shoot apex meristem which is responsible for the development of total aerial shoot system, stem, branches, leaves, etc. That means aerial organs are developed, or shoot system is developed by the activity of this shoot apex meristem. So another meristem is there. It is known as root apex meristem. So this root apex meristem is responsible for development of the root system. That means these two meristems, root apex meristem and shoot apex meristem, they are present in embryo. And when embryo sprouts after seed germination, these two meristematic tissues, which are responsible for development of the further development of the seedling as well as further development of the adult plant body. That means the basic pattern of organization in the higher plant body is related to the autotrophic mode of life. That means all higher plants possess the photosynthetic organs in the form of leaves. So leaves take part in the synthesis of food material in the form of starch by utilizing the raw material from, for example, water and nutrients are absorbed by the underground root system. Then CO2 is taken or absorbed by the leaves from atmosphere. So by utilizing these raw materials like atmospheric CO2, water which is absorbed by the root system from soil, by using this raw material, green cells, due to presence of chlorophyll pigments, in presence of sunlight, all these green aerial organs take part in the process of photosynthesis, and food is synthesized in the form of starch, which can be used or utilized for further growth and development of the plant. That means the basic pattern of organization of higher plant body is related to the autotrophic mode of its life. That means in this autotrophic mode of life, underground root system is playing important role in fixing the plant body or anchorage, fixing the plant body firmly on the substratum, as well as absorbing the nutrients as well as water and provided to the aerial organs. While aerial organs like leaves take part in synthesis of food by utilizing the raw materials like nutrients and water which is provided by the root system, and synthesizes food. So food prepared by the leaves is transported in all directions towards the branches, towards the root system, towards the shoot system, and this food which is supplied to the each and every organ is utilized for further growth and development of the plant body. That means when seed is developed from ovule inside the fruit, when seed disperses, when seed gets suitable condition for germination like adequate quantity of moisture, adequate temperature and oxygen. So if these conditions are available, seeds start to germinate. So during the process of seed germination, which is the first part emerging from the seed during process of germination, it is known as radicle. So this radicle is the first part of germinating seed, and this radicle is responsible for development of the further root system, while the another part is emerging from seed. In dicot seed, epigel germination is reported, or it is generally found in dicot seed. During this germination, the two cotyledons comes above the soil, while radicals enters in the soil, and this radicle further produces the root system. So this is the second diagram which shows the young seedling. After germination of the seed, the young seedling is developed. So this young seedling shows the underground root system which is developed from radicle, and this aerial shoot system which is developed from the plumule. So this plumule is responsible for development of the aerial shoot system. Radicle is responsible for development of the underground root system. So this is the taproot or original root which is developed from radicle. In dicot, taproot system is very common. In monocot, adventitious or fibrous roots is very common. So these are the lateral roots. At the tip of this taproot, there is a root apex meristem. So this root apex meristem is having ability to divide constantly and adds the new cells. So these new cells added by this root apex meristem, they are responsible for the development of the further root, elongation of the root axis, as well as development of the lateral roots. So this is the role of this radicle in the development of the underground major root or main root, lateral roots, etc., as well as root hairs. Then this plumule which comes out, and it is developing the aerial shoot system. So when seedling is young, it shows the root shoot axis. This is known as root shoot axis. So in this root shoot axis, these are the original two cotyledons. The portion below the cotyledon is commonly called as hypocotyl, and portion above these two cotyledons up to the first pair of leaf is commonly known as epicotyl. So this epicotyle and hypocotyle constitutes the shoot axis in young seedling stage. Young seedling stage, when these two leaves are not developed until in young seedling, these two cotyledons, which are the source of the food material, up to development of this first pair of leaf, the food which is stored in these cotyledons is utilized for the development of this young seedling. When first pair of leaf develops, in this leaf chlorophyll pigments are there, developed naturally, and these chlorophyll pigments take part in the trapping the sunlight by utilizing the raw material in the form of nutrients and water. This pair of leaf take part in synthesis of food material in the form of starch, which is supplied to the root system, shoot system, and developing organs. So at the apex there is a shoot system or shoot apex meristem. So this shoot apex meristem is having ability to divide, redivide constantly, and it is responsible for adding the new cells, which after tissue differentiation forms the different tissues, different organs after morphogenesis. That means this shoot apex meristem is responsible for elongation of the shoot axis, and this root apex meristem is responsible for elongation of the root axis, or increase in length takes place due to activity of this root apex meristem. Elongation of the shoot axis takes place due to the activity of this shoot apical meristem. So this young seedling further grows and produces the adult plant. So during the formation of different organs, the two things are happening. That means during embryo growth, the tissue differentiation takes place. What is the meaning of this tissue differentiation? So I have told you, in the embryo, all cells are having ability of cell division. So these cells redivides and adds the new cells. So these new cells produced by these embryo cells, they differentiate. That means some cells are forming the epidermal tissue system, some cells are forming the ground tissue system, some cells are forming conducting tissue system. That means after tissue differentiation, these differentiated tissues, permanent tissues, they are involved in the formation of different organs. So for example, if we take the leaf, in this leaf, how many tissues are there? Outermost covering in the form of epidermal tissue system is there. Upper epidermis, lower epidermis includes the middle portion commonly called as mesophyll tissue. At the central region, there is a conducting tissue strand in the form of vascular bundle, which contains vascular tissues in the form of xylem phloem. So epidermal tissue system, then the mesophyll tissue system, vascular tissue system, all these different tissues are organized or produced inside the leaf. That means after tissue differentiation, these differentiated tissues take part in the organ formation. So these two things, that means tissue differentiation from embryonic cells and organ formation, that means morphogenesis. This differentiation of tissues and morphogenesis. Meaning of this term morphogenesis is a formation of organs. That means this differentiation and morphogenesis are responsible for the proper organization of higher plant body as per the genetic nature of the plant. That means the genome of the plant or genetic makeup of the plant decides what kind of leaves are developed, what kind of fruit should be developed, what kind of internal organization of plant should be developed. It is decided by the genetic makeup of the plant, and this genetic makeup, as per the genetic makeup of the particular species of the plants, these two things, that means differentiation of tissues and morphogenesis, that means organ formation, are responsible for proper organization of higher plant body as per their genetic nature. So when seedling further grows, it develops the different organs in the plant body. So organization of higher plant body requires the development of plant organs. So what are these plant organs? Basic two plant organs are developed. This underground root system is developed from radicle, and aerial shoot system is developed from plumule. So these two systems, underground root system and aerial shoot system, they are produced after differentiation and morphogenesis. So root system is development of the root system begins at the time of seed germination. When seedling is formed, the primary root is there, then lateral roots are developed. That means this root and shoot system development begins at the time of initial seed germination stage, and it continues further, and formation of different appendages takes place. So this root shoot axis produces basic three types of appendages, namely leaves, epidermal outgrowths or appendages, and emergencies. That means these are the hairy appendages, one type of appendages, another emergencies, and third one leaves. So leaves, emergencies, and epidermal outgrowths in the form of various types of multicellular, unicellular hairs, commonly known as trichomes. These three appendages are developed from this aerial shoot system. So further plant grows, and it adds the number of leaves, it adds the number of branches, it adds the number of various organs like lateral roots inside the soil. Underground root system develops further lateral roots, etc. So adult plant body shows three main organs. That means underground root system, number two aerial shoot system or stem axis showing branches, and third main organ is leaves. So as far as plant organs are concerned, the adult plant body shows these three main plant organs: root system, which is underground, leaves, and stem. So these three organs plays important role in performing different functions. For example, what is the function performed by the root system? The root system plays important role in anchorage or fixing the plant body firmly on the substratum. That means this underground root system gives the support to the aerial shoot system, branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. That means the total overall weight of aerial organs of the plant body is distributed on this root system, and root system gives the support to the all aerial organs of the plant body. That means basic major function of the root system is giving support to the aerial organs of the plant body. And another major function of the underground root system is to take part in the absorption of food material in the form of nutrients and water, which is naturally available in the soil. That means conduction of food material in the form of nutrients and water is the important function performed by this underground root system. And this second component, second type of organ which is developed from plant body in higher plants is the shoot system or stem axis. So this, what is the function of this stem axis? The main function of this stem is to develop the another appendages like leaves. What are the leaves? Leaves are considered as a lateral extensions of the stem. It is meant for performing the functions like photosynthesis, gaseous exchange, transpiration, etc. That means this main function of this shoot axis is to develop the other appendages like leaves as well as lateral branches as well as flowers fruits, etc. That means development of the another parts like leaves, flowers, fruits takes place from this shoot axis. Another function performed by the shoot axis or stem is the transport of the food material towards the each and every organ. Each and every organ. That means to give the support to the all other organs like leaves, flowers, fruits is the function of this stem axis. Another function is give this support or to produce the different organs like leaves, branches, flowers, fruits, etc. And it also take part in conduction of food material which is prepared by the leaves in different directions towards the branches, towards the apical portion, towards the flowers, towards the fruits, etc. etc. And the third main organ which is developed in the higher plants is the leaf. So leaves are the extensions produced from the stem. It is commonly called as a modified stem. It is a part of stem, but it gets modified, it becomes expand, and due to presence of chlorophyll pigments, these leaves take part in the process of photosynthesis. So major function of the leaf is to take part in the process of photosynthesis or synthesis of the starch. Another functions performed by the leaf. Leaves possess the minute apertures in the form of stomata, and due to presence of these minute apertures in the form of stomata in the leaves, these stomata take part in the exchange of gases like O2 and CO2. At the same time, this stomata remains open during daytime and they are involved in the removal of water in the form of vapors during daytime. That means the water which is conducted by the root system is totally not utilized. Some amount of water is utilized by all living cells for metabolic processes, and remaining amount of water, excess water, surplus amount of water is expelled out from aerial organs of the plant body, especially leaves and branches, due to presence of stomata. That means the stomata take part in the process of transpiration. That means leaves, due to presence of stomata, take part in the process of transpiration. They take part in the process of gaseous exchange, and due to presence of chlorophyll pigments, these leaves take part also in the performing major physiological function like photosynthesis. So if we observe the stem axis also possesses another appendages like unicellular or multicellular hairs depending upon the type of the species or genus. It is a genetic character. That means these hairy appendages are also developed from the epidermis. In some plants, the emergences are also developed. So these emergences are the another kind of appendages which differs from hairy appendages or trichomes. So these emergences are superficial epidermal appendages which are also developed from this stem epidermis. Then in the axils of the leaves there are axillary buds. In the apical region there is apical bud. So when primary growth of the plant completes, then secondary growth starts. When secondary growth starts, plant increases its girth or diameter due to development of large number of branches, large number of leaves. This secondary growth begins in the plant and diameter of the plant body increases. In case of dicot and gymnospermic plant, when vegetative growth of the plant body completes, when vegetative growth of the plant body is completed, then plant starts the reproductive growth. So this starting period of reproductive growth is different in different plants. For example, if plant is annual, in first few months, 5, 6 months, 7 months, vegetative growth is taking place. Afterwards, the reproductive growth begins. So what happens in this reproductive growth? During reproductive growth, these axillary buds or terminal buds, they are converted into flowers. When flowers are developed, it indicates the plant shows the reproductive growth. Plant begins reproductive growth. That means after completion of vegetative growth, these axillary buds, they are converted into they are converted into floral buds. So in the form of inflorescence, bunch of flower will be developed. Some plants produces isolate or single flowers from this axillary bud, and these axillary buds will convert into floral buds. They take part in the further reproduction process. That means this organization of plant body is a complex process, and it involves many things. Starting from germination of the seeds. Starting from formation of zygote. Actually, the development of each and every higher plant begins. Its growth and development from this single celled zygote stage, and it is continued throughout the life of the plant until the plant life completes. So that's all about this first part of this topic under the heading of organization of higher plant body. We are going to study these two components, two sub-articles. First article is the plant organs, and second article is the internal organization. So next time I am going to discuss this next part, internal organization of higher plant body. So that's all about today's our lecture. If you have any queries, then clarify your queries time to time. So thank all